Hey everyone, Astro's Flame here to talk to you about the magic grab bag from a local game store near me. What Hairy Tarantula does is for 50 or $100 Canadian, they will prepare a selection of singles for the value of that plus 20% and a small gift. A little nicety. So for 100 bucks, you get $120 worth of singles. Even better, they'll style this grab bag based on a commander that you choose if you're looking to get a new deck going. For my bag, I chose Fblthp the Lost. Now before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more Commander and MTG Arena content. Now, Fblthp the Lost is a 1 colorless, 1 blue, 1/1 legendary creature homunculus. He reads, when Fblthp the Lost enters the battlefield, draw a card. If it entered from your library or was cast from your library, draw 2 cards instead. When Fblthp becomes the target of a spell, shuffle it into its owner's library. Now this grab bag was styled around Fblthp and being shuffled into our deck multiple times to draw cards so we can get to our Wincon. So the Wincon. Effectively, we're looking to have Fblthp go into the deck with a Proteus Staff. Being one of only a couple creatures, he's going to work to hit another creature, and then we're gonna hopefully get to trigger his ability to draw. That's the idea. Fblthp gets lost in the deck. To support this, the Wincon package that was provided to us in this grab bag is the Isochron Scepter and Dramatic Reversal. This is our infinite mana, sort of infinite untap generation package. Blue Sun Zenith, so we have a way to use that infinite blue mana. And of course, a Laboratory Maniac or Jace Wheeler of Mysteries for when we get into that eventual combo of Fblthp in, come on out, draw our deck, and there we go. As I said, this is going to be a Fblthp Proteus Staff combo. So we're going to always be targeting as much as we can Fblthp with the Proteus Staff. This is going to let us reorganize our deck, draw the 2 key cards that we need, and look for the parts of our Wincon that we need to get our deck rolling and get our win on its way and done. Now, our next package here we're going to look at is the Draw and Tutor package, featuring Reshape, Frantic Search, World of Invention, Fabricate, and Teferi, Master of Time. Ultimately, we're always looking for the key components of our win condition. In the primary case, and most of the time, this is going to be Proteus Staff. So we're looking for stuff to just directly fetch the artifact that's going to let our combo get off, so Fblthp gets lost, and we start to draw and get in for the win. I do say, and I will say, I really like the Teferi Master of Time inclusion in this grab bag. This is a very strong draw engine that can be used on multiple turns, and in a 4-pod game of Commander, this is effectively a loot every turn. On top of, obviously, the -3 for phase, and if you hit the -10, extra turns. But the rest really pulls together to find the key card of the deck, the Proteus Staff. Now, coming into the next part is our removal package. We are looking into the Royal, Totally Lost, featuring our good buddy Fblthp, Ognify, Vidalcan Shackles, Narset's Reversal, Counterspell, Propaganda, Rapid Hybridization, Negate, and Arcane Denial. Now, I know what it's going to seem like with the Vidalcan Shackles. This isn't really like a removal or propaganda, but these are cards that are going to protect us and give us ways to sort of pop off our combo. If our opponent has a key creature we need to get rid of, we can use Vidalcan Shackles to gain control of it and use our Proteus Staff on it. Propaganda just works to stop people from attacking us, keeping us alive. Overall, I do really like this suite. We have, a couple really good counterspells, especially like the Narset's Reversal and just counterspell itself. The one little thing I do really like about this is the Into the Royal. Just a fun little bounce card that when kicked, you do get a draw, which for us can be a key, because this could be something to work into on our opponent's turn, so we're just netting that additional draw to dig deeper in our deck. And the same applies for Arcane Denial. Sort of key in drawing. I mean, we are in blue, but really maximizing our draw potentials on cards while getting additional effect really plays into our powerhouse and digging for what we need in our deck. Now, here comes the ramp package. We're not in green. We don't get access to the cool, flavorful stuff like 3 visits and rampant growth, the namesakes of ramp basically, but we do get to be creative in what we get. So we're looking at an Overflowing Chalice, a Midnight Clock, Hadron Archive, Worn Power Stone, the Staple Soul Ring, and a Basalt Monolith. Now the nice thing about these is they're a mana generation that always produces more than 1 pip, save for the Midnight Clock. Now the clock is in there because it has a wheel effect, which is a recycle our hand, draw new cards. Overflowing Chalice we can kick off because we may have extra mana to get bonus stuff with it on the charge counters. But the Basalt Monolith and Soul Ring really play into our infinite mana combination with Dramatic Reversal and Isochron Scepter. If as long as we produce more mana than Basalt Monolith takes to untap, we're going to get a huge net gain of mana. That's sort of the key thing to reducing infinite mana with this deck. The Worn Power Stone again also playing into this because it produces 2 pips of colorless instead of just 1. The nice thing with this little package as well is with the Hedron Archive, when we're sort of done with the ramp and we don't need it anymore, we can take advantage of the sacrificing the Hedron to draw 2 more cards, getting us closer to the cards that we need from the deck. Now, lastly here is what I call the utility package. I'm sort of combining this with the lands bit because these were only 5 cards, but they were real nice inclusions. We're looking at Back to Basics, Rings of Brighthearth, March of the Machines, a Mystic Sanctuary, and a Buried Ruin. I love the Back to Basics in this because we're playing in a monocolor deck and forcing our opponents to have their non-basic lands not untapped during the untap steps is huge in a tempo swing for us, especially if we're up against like a green deck. Other monocolor decks may not run into issues against us, but any dual, triple, 4, or 5 color decks, they're all running non-basics. So Back to Basics really kind of hits them and slows them down to bringing them to our pace. The Rings of Brighthearth is nice because we're going to be copying some abilities, and that ability just to quick pay 2 and get an extra trigger, always a bonus. March of the Machines seems like a bit of an odd inclusion, but the idea is to turn this and our artifacts into creatures. So the March of the Machines being an enchantment doesn't get affected, obviously, by its own effect, but all our artifacts, and we're running a slew of them in the final build, are going to basically become creatures, which means Proteus Staff can target them. So that means even if Fblthp isn't on board, we can hit one of our artifacts with a Proteus Staff trigger and pop it in and try to hit, Laboratory Maniac from the deck. Or if Fblthp is in the deck and we don't have another creature out, March of the Machines, instant artifact creature, bring it in, Fblthp's in, and suddenly we're drawing cards again. The Mystic Sanctuary and the Buried Ruin are nice. The Mystic Sanctuary is like a recursion piece for usable instant cards to come back, or sorcery as well, and the Buried Ruin is recursion for artifacts. I will say overall with this $100 package, I've been very impressed and pleased by the cards that are offered. If a local game store near you is offering something similar, 100% invest in it. It never hurts to invest into your local game stores at all. So like I said, overall, I would absolutely buy this again. I think this was a great selection of singles. It gave me a great style to put the words to the deck, and just a lot of cool stuff that I hadn't really considered when I was trying to build Fblthp. I had a vision for what I wanted to do and ideas of the card, but getting these singles in really kind of put that list together and helped me. Your game store, like I said, is offering something similar. Maybe it's something you want to look into, but I absolutely think I got my value worth. I hope you hit that like and subscribe button to keep up to date on more Commander and MTG related content. And friends, as always, keep believing, and I'll catch you next time.